Tonight I'm taking you to Bristol, PA, to this little river town that's actually one of the oldest in the state. It started back in the late 1600s as a ferry port between Philly and New York. And I'm taking you to the witch's chair. Some say Sarah Wright hexed it, and in October, if you sit in it, you feel hands gripping you from behind. The wrought iron seat, tucked into the back of the old churchyard, has been weathered by time and whispered about for generations. A warning, a dare, a story that refuses to die. And I'll tell you the legend that clings to it, to the fear, to the thrill, to the possibility that something or someone still guards that seat. It's a place where the living test their courage, and the dead might just press back. Welcome to Haunted by Beauty. Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to Haunted by Beauty, my YouTube channel where I combine my passion for makeup and my love of ghost stories. Tonight I'm in what I call my beat laboratory. I'm not on location right now, but I want to tell you about a town called Bristol, PA, and specifically something called the Witch's Chair. Bristol is an old river town founded in the 1600s, and it was really a port between Philly and New York. It's a very quaint town, and there's a beautiful church there called the St. James Episcopal Church, and that's where we'll learn about the Witch's Chair. I'm going to be doing a theme for Thanksgiving, so this week's theme is mushroom. So I don't know, I'm kind of wearing mushroom colors, and I'm going to be doing a cut crease. So that's something new I'll be trying. And a few other things I'll be doing that are new. I have a few different new products. Ghost Cup's still here. I'm going to take a quick sip. And let's get into it. I've done my face priming already with my milky toner. I'm not going out, so I don't need SPF, but always remember to put your SPF on if you're going to be going out, or even if you're staying in the house during the day. I've already also added, and I'll link down below all the products I'm using, but today I'm using Physicians Formula Butter Glow Bronzer. I already applied some to my skin, and that's to give a glow underneath your foundation. The next thing that I'll be doing is going in with my eye primer. So I have Milk Makeup's Grip Eye Primer. So let me get that on. And I have a cool thing from P. Louise that I'm going to show you that has to do with the cut, helping with the cut crease. So what we're basically doing is putting our makeup on, and then to get that cut crease, we're erasing some of the makeup. And that's where this cut crease carver is going to come in from P. Louise. So today I went to Bristol, and specifically I went there to see the Witch's Chair. And the legend is that a couple named Merritt and Sarah Wright are buried there, but the trick is only Merritt is buried there that we know of. He has his birth and death dates on the stone. Sarah does not have a death date on the stone. She has her birth date of 1850, but no death date. And missing that date of death is not that uncommon, really. But it, for some reason, in this town and in this situation, and with this witch's chair, which is basically a wrought iron chair in front of Merritt's grave, it spawned a legend that Sarah was rumored to be a witch, and prior to her death, she vowed and hexed the chair and vowed that anyone who sat in the chair would have bad luck. So I'll get more into that, and I'm going to continue with the look. So now that I have my primer on, I'm going to go ahead and put my tape on, my trusty tape, so I can get that sharp line when I do my eye makeup. Do it this way. I do have my my black mat that I wipe my brushes off with right in my lap, and I'm going to go in with actually I'm going to go in with my bronzer to start in the crease. And again, I'll link down below what brushes I'm using. My eyes are not the best, so this is Sephora, and it's a little bit of a fluffier brush. Let me just wipe that off a little bit. One reminder, keep your brushes clean. You want to keep your brushes very clean. I try to do mine, I'll be honest, I do mine once a month. I don't do them weekly, but the more you keep them clean, the more clean your look will be. It's more hygienic, and it's just better for your eyes. So I use this to just brush off in between, but keep your brushes clean, everybody. So let me go ahead and start this in the crease. So again, as I mentioned, Sarah was born in 1850, but there is no death date on the stone for her. And I did go today I went with flowers for Sarah, and I left them on the chair because I don't know that she's a witch. I don't believe that. 1850 also sounds much later on than when the whole witch scare, obviously it is. That was in the 1600s. But I don't want to be disrespectful when I go to different locations. So I did take her flowers, but I also took some of my tools. So I took a few EMF detectors. I have 3 EMF detectors, including a new one that I got that looks like a little hotel bell, like a bellhop bell. And I also took my dowsing rods. So more to come on that. So the next part of the look will be to go ahead and start to darken here. And I'm going in with my Give palette. And this is simple. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'll put it down below. I even made a sticker and I can't see what it says. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker brown, keeping with that kind of mushroom theme. A tighter brush. I'm going to hit it off and continue to carve in. And you can be a little bit messy if you have this cut carver. And if you don't have it, you can come up with other ways to do this, but I thought it would be fun to try to do it with the cut carver. So I'm going in with the brown, pulling it over slowly. Pull back on your brush as well. So one thing that's interesting about St. James Episcopal Church is that it's very old. It's very old, and it's very part of the roots of the town. But they embrace the story in a way about Sarah and her chair. They have a walking tour around their churchyard. So that would be basically their cemetery on the church grounds. And at Halloween, they decorate the chair. So I think that's kind of neat that they're not necessarily embracing the witch part of it, but they acknowledge that there's this story there. So next I'm going to do the highlight along my brow. And I have this very old palette from Almay Bold Nudes, and it has kind of a lavender, a dark purple, and a white. But what I want is this white color because I like that along my brow bone. I'm going to go ahead and hit that in. And I do have video footage of what I did with the EMF detectors and with my dowsing rods, and I'll be including that as well. And you'll see what happened. I think it's pretty interesting. Okay. So I've got that down. The next thing I want to do. So what I've got is P. Louise, their cut carver, which basically you go in, you do your eye color, and then you take some of it away to get that clean look. Then you go in with a nude color. So you're basically adding color, taking some away, and then adding your color back in for the cut crease. And I think I am ready to go in with this. It has a very, very light scent. It's almost like a wax. And I bought 2 brushes of the same type. They look like this. So one will be for me to go in and carve out my crease, and the other one will be to go in with this Moira. So this is 02 beige, and that's basically an eyeshadow / primer. My eyeshadow that I'm using tonight is Give, and it's y'all, my eyes are so bad. It's mushroom colors. I'll put that down below. I'll put it down below. So I'm going to go ahead and cut in with this. This is the first time I'm doing this, so hopefully this works. So you want to take away anything in your, oh, it does look great. Wow. Okay, it's taking away all of what I have on my lid fairly cleanly. Let me wipe it off real quick. Take a sip. Trusty ghost cup. I'm going to do the other side now. Cut this in. And it is, you see it's taking away all the color that I had there. Kind of straighten the top out here. Now I'll go in with the clean brush, absolutely clean, and I'll go in with the Moira to make that bright crease, hopefully bright. See what you're getting there? Nice bright delineated line. A little bit brighter. I'd like it a little bit brighter. Wow. That really does give you the cut. So now, with the other side of this brush, let me put the lid on the cut carver. So again, P. Louise cut carver. Highly recommend. I'm going to go back into my Give palette and take this light beige. Let's view. I guess this side, that's the dry. And then I'm going to go ahead and set this. So today I went with 3 different EMF detectors, including one that looks like a little bellhop bell. I did not get any hits. I did take my dowsing rods, however, and you'll see in the footage that I'm going to attach with this what happened with those. So again, Sarah and Merritt Wright are the individuals who are buried with the witch's chair. Merritt's dates of death, birth and death are on the stone, but Sarah's date of birth is listed, 1850, but not her date of death. And somewhere along the line, because of that missing date of death, which isn't that uncommon, the legend started that she was somehow not ever deceased and was a witch. I did take flowers to the grave to be respectful of her. I don't believe she's a witch. 1850s, well beyond the time of like the witch trials and things like that. But that is the rumor that persists. And the story is that if you go in October and sit in the witch's chair at midnight, you will feel arms wrapped around you. And part of the legend continues that when Sarah died, I don't know how they know this, if she died and they don't have the date, but that she hexed the chair and said that you would have bad luck. I did not sit in the chair. I do not need bad luck. But I did take flowers just to be respectful. And I think it's an interesting story that it's persisted for this long. So there must be people that go and sit in that chair and feel something. So I will continue with the look. So next up, I'm going to do eyeliner. And I'll link down below what I have here. LA Girl, but I can't tell you that it's just plain black. But I'll go in and do my eyeliner. Keeping it along the tape here. Other side. And then I'm going to go in with the dark color that is in this Give palette, this black down here, and just cover that eyeliner and set it. Hit it off with my pad. Tell me down below in the comments, does your town have a story of a witch or a woman in white who comes and wanders the roads? So many towns have these stories, and they have to come from somewhere. There has to be an origin story. I don't know that people just make stuff up. I mean, this witch's chair is sort of perfect. It's wrought iron and very creepy looking. There had to have been more to it than that for this whole story to have come from whole cloth. But you'll see again the footage that I took and see for yourself what you think. I asked a few questions and we'll see what happened. So I am going to go ahead and take off my tape. Nice clean cut both ways. Cut crease and along my lash line. I am going to go ahead and hit my eyebrows off. Let's see if I can find my NYX glue for my eyebrows. It's a little gluey. Just to neaten them up. Okay. Now for my foundation, I have a new foundation, Maybelline 3D Super Stay. Oh my goodness, I can't read. I'll put down below what it is, and I'll put the color as well. So I have this new foundation, and I do have my little tray. I'll get out my tray, my little palette. You only need a little bit of some of these things. So I'm just going to put like maybe, I'll start with one squish and go in with my Real Techniques foundation brush And this palette gives you the opportunity to prime your brush, so to get it really coated with the foundation. Go in, and you want to sort of do buffing motion. And I think there's enough for the other side. Yeah, plenty. Maybe a little. No, I think that's enough. I think that's plenty. And then I'm going to go in with some back. I had a little bit of a problem with my mirror every single time. It's probably just the mirror. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection. This time I have the pink, and I have my little tray, and I will go and drop in some into this. Makes it easier to get the brush or a puff into there. Sorry for the noise. So I also have another thing I'll show you, and I'll link down below where I learned this from, but it's this makeup artist who collects all vintage makeup. She's got blonde hair. I should remember her name, but I cannot remember it. I'll link it down below. I'll link her page down below, her YouTube and Instagram. But I like to take the puff, and I'm just going to go ahead and go in fairly thick. And then this is the trick. You get a baby hairbrush. It's very soft, so soft. You just brush away the excess of the powder, and it gives you just like the finest finish. I mean, you could probably do this with a kabuki brush, but it's like for an infant or a baby. That's how soft this is. So blending that in. Then the next thing I always do is the color on the under part of my eye. I'm going to go back in with my Give palette, and I think I'll go with the brown again, using my little bent brush. Oh, fine. Here it is. This is what it looks like. See how it's bent? I'll just go and hit off under here. Okay. And then I'm going to hit my cheeks with some blush. Again, I'm going to be using this very light blush. I'm trying to avoid like too much of a harsh look. Let's see. Here's my Spa Sister. Okay. I actually got my lashes lifted, so I don't need too much mascara, but that would be one of the next steps, so I may throw a little bit on. I have So I have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter. You can see it's like pinkish, and I'll just hit my cheeks off right here. So I don't know much about Sarah. There's not much about her. I just feel like this is probably a woman who was misunderstood. Obviously, her husband loved her very much. This chair was most likely a mourning chair so that she could go and sit with him. But again, where did this legend come from? That's what I would love to figure out, and I don't know that there will ever be an answer to it. So let me just hit off a little bit with my Tartelette tubing mascara. When you get your lashes lifted, you can't use anything. No, I cheat, but you're not supposed to use anything waterproof. This is waterproof, but it's tubing mascara, which is, it literally like wraps around your lashes and makes little tubes. It's exactly what it sounds like. Okay. Let's see. Then I have my NYX lip gloss. I'll put down below what this is. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to hit off with my setting spray. And this can be a dewy look. So this is my the Alba. I'll put down below what it is. And hit with my fan. And then the lip gloss. And it's this type. It has a little squishy part that comes out. And it really tastes very good. Okay. I did have lip liner, but I don't know where it is right now. But I also have another gloss, and this is LA Colors lip gloss, and it's sort of like a latte flavor, like a chai latte flavor. Okay, and this is the look. Right now I'm going to show you my footage from the St. James Episcopal Church churchyard. Hi, Sarah. There's lots of stories about you being a witch. I don't believe that that's true. If you're here, can you cross these two metal? Can you cross these? Okay. It's a little windy, so if you're here, I'm gonna just, sorry to keep asking you, but can you open them back up? Okay, so I'm guessing that means you're here. There's people blowing leaves. There's two things on this chair that is said to be a chair that you hexed, which I also don't believe. It also says that they also say that it has you get bad luck if you sit in it. I'm not going to sit in it. But I have two little things on it that you can get near, and that will light up a bright light, and this will make a dinging sound if you get near it. I'm going to try again. And now I'm going to ask whether Merit is here. If so, Merit, can you cross these? Okay, so again, just asking. Sorry to repeat questions, but if you're here, can you open, please? Okay, I'm going to take that someone's here. I don't know who's here, but I'm taking it as a yes. Can someone cross these if Sarah is actually buried here and they just never got around to putting her date of death on the stone? So she is buried here. That's correct? If so, can you open them? Thank you. So I just think that there have been legends that have been made over time that Sarah was unfortunately called a witch. I don't believe that's true, but it seems like there might actually be someone here answering. Please don't follow us. Please don't attach to us. Again, so is this Sarah? If it's Sarah, can you cross these? Okay. Can you open them back up, please, Sarah? I don't know what that means, so. Merritt, are you here? If so, cross these, please. So it's Sarah who's here. Sarah, you don't have to stay here. You don't have to stay with this chair. I don't believe it's hexed, and I don't believe you're a witch. You don't have to stay here. Do you want to, is there anything you want to say? If so, you can cross them. Okay, if there's nothing that you want to say, a little bit of wind now. Okay, nothing's dinging, nothing's lighting up. Okay, Sarah, thank you. I'm going to close this off now. Thank you. Okay, so I did find my lip liner, and this is Makeup Forever, and it's basically a really popular color. It's like a brown. So that's the look. What were your thoughts about what I caught with the dowsing rods? It was slightly breezy, but not breezy enough for what I think I caught. Tell me down below if you have a woman in white or a witch in your town, or if there's some other legend that persists to this day. Tell me if you have any other stories. I have my email linked down below if you'd like me to tell a story of yours and do a look. Tell me a look you'd be interested in seeing. I'm happy to do that and happy to keep bringing you stories and tutorials. Stay haunted and stay beautiful.